Woi guys, race 1 Junior GP di Misano, gila sih. Ada drama red flag, restart singkat, terus finish cuma beda 0,07 detik aja. Marco Morelli lawan Brian Uriarte bikin penonton berdiri semua. Dan jangan lupa, Veda Ega Pratama lagi-lagi bikin kita bangga. Top speed paling kencang di race ini 209,7 km per jam, bro. Awalnya, balapan start normal jam setengah 12 siang. Trek panas, cuaca oke. Tapi pada lap kedua, red flag berkibar. Padahal, Veda mampu berada di baris depan, posisi 3, dan berpeluang duel dengan Uriarte di P1 atau P2 yang udah punya gap dengan Gonzalez. Lap kemudian dipanglas menjadi 7 lap. Begitu restart, balapan dipangkas jadi cuma 7 lap. Udah jadi kayak sprint race, gaspol dari awal sampai akhir, tanpa ruang buat mikir panjang.
Veda Pratama as well, looking up the inside of the 27. He gets that move made before they even arrive at turn 13.
Broken away from O'Gorman in P5.
Yeah, they continue to battle away at the front of this field. 15 laps remain, soon to be 14 laps to go, and this race will tick down very quickly. They come over the line now, and it's going to be 1.5 tenths fastest lap as well, changing hands between Morelli and Pratama. I expect that to go down as this race continues. Plenty of battles as well. Evan Belford now inside the top 10. He is looking in the podium hunt.
Inside, can he get ahead under braking? No, Uriarte holds position.
Yeah, looking at Quercher corner, and he didn't get that one stuck. Of course, so easy to run wide in the braking zone here. You're asking so much from the brake, especially on these junior GP bikes, where it's all about the corner speed. As Marco Morelli, and if I look up the inside, slightly tighter line through turns 9 and 10. No running wide this time though from Brian Uriarte, so he does continue
to make that move. Uriarte defending position through turn 14 to keep P1.
Now, as we're continuing this great fight, Joel Esteban now up into P11, so a great start there for him. He's free off the well, battling away in P7. But this race, once again, you see a few riders running on the green.
Yeah, a few riders.
So hot this morning. We're edging towards 26 degrees air Celsius. And it's hot actually, Leonardo Zani. Now, he's dropped down the order from his P11 start as his teammate runs in P6. So plenty of work to do for Zani. He's going to be looking to enter that top 10 by the end of this race, you would think. We still have 13 laps remaining in this one. Morelli taking that tighter line. A slight moment as well from Salmela in third. Is that going to affect his drive?
All over the back of Salmela through turn 10. It looks like the Finnish rider has got enough from Cavone to keep P3 at the moment, but it will come down to turn 14. Pratama having a look actually at turn 12. That is a big move from the Indonesian rider.
Yeah, big move. And now Rico Salmela back through he goes. And well before we even arrive at turn 14.
Begitu lampu padam lagi, Brian Uriarte langsung nyodok dengan KTM-nya. Dia emang punya sektor 2 yang gokil banget. Catat 23,7 detik paling cepet dari semua rider. Tapi ada Marco Morelli pakai Honda yang mainnya lebih kalem tapi penuh perhitungan. Dia simpan energi dan ternyata sektor 4 jadi senjatanya. Catat 22,243 detik, tercepat sepanjang race. Dua gaya balap yang kontras. Uriarte agresif di tengah trek, Morelli tenang dan nunggu di akhir lap. Di belakang mereka ada David Gonzalez. Konsisten, selalu jaga jarak dekat, siap manfaatin kalau dua rider depan bikin kesalahan. jadi langsung terbentuk grup 3 di depan. Sementara itu di belakang ada rider kita, Veda Ega Pratama. Pace dia stabil di angka 1 menit 42 detik. Dan yang bikin merinding, top speed Veda di race ini adalah yang paling tinggi, 209,7 km per jam. Lebih kencang dari semua rider lain, bahkan lebih kencang dari pemenang race. Balik lagi ke depan, lap demi lap, tensi makin naik. Uriarte coba push dari lap awal, tapi Morelli kelihatan makin nyaman. Masuk lap kelima, Morelli kasih kode keras, 1 menit 41,5. Catatan waktu yang bikin Uriarte harus jungkir balik biar bisa nempel. Dan puncaknya, di lap ke-6, Morelli catat fastest lap 141,364 detik. Timingnya pas banget. Dia simpan energi, dan begitu dibuka, langsung bikin jarak yang susah ditembus. Lap terakhir jadi klimaks. Uriarte nggak mau kalah. Dia coba serangan di sektor 2. Motor KTM-nya kelihatan lebih lincah di bagian itu. Penonton di tribun berdiri semua. Gapnya tinggal setengah motor doang. Tapi begitu masuk sektor 4, udah kelihatan bedanya. Honda Morelli keluar tikungan terakhir lebih bersih, lebih rapi. Dan benar aja, di garis finish dia tetap unggul. Selisihnya 0,075 detik aja, tipis banget. Gonzalez akhirnya ikut nyebrang bareng mereka, cuma selisih 0,2 detik. Jadi 3 besar finish bareng, kayak drag race di ujung track. Nah, kita balik lagi ke Veda. Dia memang finish di posisi 4, beda hampir 5 detik dari Morelli. Tapi kalau kita bongkar data, jelas banget dia punya potensi podium. Best lap-nya 1 menit 42,026. Cuma 6/10 lebih lambat dari fastest lap. Di sektor 1 waktunya udah setara sama Morelli. Di sektor 4 bedanya cuma 2/10. Jadi masalahnya ada di sektor 2 dan 3, di mana dia masih kehilangan beberapa per 10 jap lap. Tapi ingat, ini race cuma 7 lap. Kalau balapannya normal 15-17 lap dengan top speed setinggi itu, peluang Veda buat naik podium gede banget. Karena di race panjang, daya tahan ban dan kecepatan puncak lebih menentukan. Sayangnya ada beberapa rider yang gak beruntung. Rico Selmila jatuh di tikungan 5, Levi Russo sempat jatuh juga tapi lanjut dan akhirnya finish paling belakang, dan Dodo Boggio crash di tikungan 10, harus retire. Sprint race kayak gini emang sadis. Semua orang gaspol dari awal. Margin kesalahan 0 besar. Jadi kalau disimpulin, Morelli menang karena jenius pakai sektor 4 dan tahu kapan harus push. Uriarte kalah bukan karena dia jelek, tapi karena di sektor akhir dia kalah drive. Gonzalez konsisten, tapi kurang 1 langkah untuk bisa fight. Dan Veda bikin kita bangga banget. Top speed paling kenceng, pace solid. Oke, itulah singkat rekap balapan Junior GP Misano Race 1. Terima kasih dan salam bersenang-senang.
He's there, but the pace is so similar at the front between the top 3 and P4 to P6 running their own race. Pratama's just
Can he make it work? The 97 using all the slipstream, tucking in absolutely everything he could on that back straight, but he slots in behind and keeps his powder dry as we prepare for the final lap. It's going to be fireworks because Marco Morelli, he's not going to finish this race without at least one chance. What do you do in this final lap? 97 in the slipstream. Will he pull out heading towards turn 8? Heavy on the brakes. We go now, and he does look up the inside. Releases the brake, but has to think better of it. Brian Uriarte had a big look behind. He knows how close Marco is as towards turn 9 and 10, and then building up speed once more.
This run through turn Morelli, is he gonna? No, he can't quite get it done. Uriarte was very wide, even for his standards, through turn 10. Now it's all about the run through turn 11, 12, and 13 to set up a move into 14. Morelli is close, but is he close enough into Curva del Carlo to make that move?
David Gonzalez still sitting there in third position. If anything happens in this final sector, he's going to be here to pick up the pieces. Brian Uriarte leads the way. Just a few more corners to go. Gonzalez down the inside. He goes at turns 14. He thinks better of it though. Is that going to mess up Marco Morelli's momentum? We'll wait for the field to appear. And Brian Uriarte does lead the way. Still heading into final corner. It's going to be a drag race to the line. You would think Brian Uriarte holds on to it. The 51 to the line we go now. And who's it going to be? It looks like it's Marco Morelli. Marco Morelli has picked it at the line. 75 thousandths of a second. Brian Uriarte in P2. And well, David Gonzalez in third. Everything changing on the exit of that final corner.